Hi, it's Paul Cheemer from Malcom Stores here in Coventry. Just glad to be continuing with this campaign, protectyourstore.co.uk. So look, a note to the Lords Committee stage is starting to draw to a close, but Protect Your Store campaign continues and the bill needs to continue in Lords before going back to the Commons. So this is another resit next week on Wednesday. It's the same date as the budget. So, it's going to be an interesting day. So this is why I keep coming back to it, and I want to keep the fight going, because somehow, somewhere, I hope someone listens and they take note of the campaign work that we're doing. My top 3 ideas that came out of Lords are licensing. A licensing scheme could make it easier for everyone to follow the same rules and would make it more difficult for irresponsible retailers to sell illegal, we call them dodgy cigarettes. Money from penalty and licensing could be used to improve trading standards teams. So look, we know many stores up and down the country are selling illegal cigarettes. The stores are opening up, they're not licensed. A lot of these illicit stores are now selling alcohol as well, because they know they can get away with selling illegal tobacco, and they're now doing illegal alcohol as well. So putting a licensing scheme, but probably bolting a licensing scheme to the back of your alcohol licence would be responsible, because a licensing scheme could also harm retailers that if your proximity is near a school, you might not get a licence. Secondly, keeping communication. Is there alternatives that consumers can go to? If that's what government are worried about, is there smoke-free products that are out there? And how can we better advise and educate our consumers that this is the alternative that's out there? But then if the marketing ban comes into place, how do we do this? So we need to think more responsibly, and government needs to think even more responsible how we do this in our stores. And the minimum age. This whole thing about the generation ban, and if you're born after the 1st of January 2009, it's totally irresponsible in my view, and irresponsible in many retailers' views up and down the country. It will be nearly impossible for retailers to enforce this. The abuse factor that this will come into stores is just going to be out of this. Do you know what? It's going to be out of this world. Trading standards can't cope with it today. Police can't cope with phone calls coming in from retailers with abuse today. So what I want to know is what support will be out there. Could it be more responsible if we talk about the age and what age this can go to? Could it be 18 going to 19 or 20 or 21 rather than bringing the generation ban? So government, look, let's think responsible about this, and let's see what you can come up with. But what I urge government to do is, look, talk to retailers, talk to wholesalers in the UK, and see what the challenges are before you make your mind up on what you want to do with our livelihoods, because that's what you're playing with, is our livelihoods.